Hey y'all, it's Chris and welcome back to Creative Loops. This is my channel where I explore all things yarn, crochet, and sometimes knit. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you a couple of makes that I was able to work on, and I'm also going to share with you a product review. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I'm actually going to start this video with the product review. I was sent this hand massager and warmer. The Real Massagers for Real Relief. This is a HandSpa Pro hand massager from Bob and Brad. So Bob and Brad are both physical therapists that have a YouTube channel and have a pretty big following here on YouTube. A person from their company reached out to me and offered me this product in exchange for a review. And so I've been dealing with a lot of hand pain lately and have been doing a lot of crocheting. And so I figured, why not try this out, see how I like it, and I can share my honest thoughts with you all. When a person from their company reached out to me and offered to send me the HandSpa Pro massager, I thought about it a couple times. I had to consult with my creative director, Dante, and together, Dante was extremely excited that someone reached out to us because he feels like we've made it to be real YouTubers. Dante wanted me to go all in. I had to think about it for a while because I like to share things and my honest thoughts with you all, and I don't want you all to second guess or to doubt anything that I'm saying because of, if there's a perception of an incentive or perception that I'm getting something in exchange for sharing certain thoughts or opinions. I do like to share my honest thoughts and opinions. So after having a conversation with my creative director, Dante, we decided to go ahead and accept the offer in exchange for this honest review. I did a little bit of research on the company and I found that so far the company has a lot of really positive reviews. There aren't any glaring red flags that stick out based on what I've looked up so far. Most of the reviews on their products are very positive. There are a few cons that are mentioned in their product reviews that we'll actually get into myself. I'm going to insert a video of me unboxing the massager. You'll see in the box that you get 10 disposable gloves. You get a charging cord. It is USB-C. You get a USB-C charging cord. You have this finger massager that comes with it. I did not use this. I'm not actually interested in using this. So I've used something like this before, and I just don't. These don't do anything for me. I don't like the way they feel. So you do get one of these for free in the box. And then you also get a storage bag, so you can store your hand massager in this bag. In addition to that, you get the massager itself. So the massager can work on both hands. If you would like to use it on your left hand, you just put your hand in this way and it massages your left hand. If you would like to use your right hand, you slide it in like so. And you just it does feel a little awkward when I'm using it on my right hand. In order for the buttons to not be facing down on the bottom, I do have to turn my hand over like this. And when I'm sitting down and relaxing, this isn't necessarily a very comfortable position for me to keep my arm, but you can make it work. I would often be sitting with it sideways like this while I was using it on my right hand. The device itself is very simple. It has a power button. This is a mode button, so there are 3 different modes that you can put it in. There's a vitality mode, there is a relaxation mode, and then there's an intensity mode. This button here controls the intensity level. There are 3 different intensity levels, and then there are 3 different heat levels. A couple of other reviews found that the intense mode or even the relaxation mode can be a bit intense on their hands. I had this up to the highest intensity, the highest heat, and I liked it. I really enjoyed the intensity. What this feels like when you put your hand inside of it, so the outer case, as you can see, it's a soft material. So I would compare this to if you've ever had a desk chair or an office chair, and the armrest on the chair is usually made of this squishy foamy material. That's what this reminds me of. It reminds me of the squishy foamy material that an office chair armrest would be made out of. So it's a very soft outside. There's a very soft fabric, stretchy fabric on the inside as well. When you put your hand inside and you turn it on, what is actually massaging your hand are these small balloons. So if you can imagine, many of us are familiar with a blood pressure cuff. So when we go to the doctor and they're checking our blood pressure, and they either put something on our wrist or they put it up on our arm, and they start to squeeze the blood pressure cuff so that they can measure your blood pressure. The balloons that expand and actually massage your fingers reminds me of that blood pressure cuff. So when you're putting your hands in here, each finger has an individual sleeve that it goes into. Your thumb goes in here, and then each finger has an individual sleeve that it goes into. So when you turn it on, you can feel each finger being massaged individually, which I really enjoyed. And the heat was not intense to me at all. So I think it's really important to add a disclaimer here that this is a very subjective device. As I was looking through the reviews, like I said, most of the reviews that I saw for this were extremely positive. However, there were a few reviews that talked about how the heat was too intense or the pressure that was being applied to the fingers were too intense. I didn't find that. I felt that it was enjoyable and that it wasn't too intense. This massages your fingers and your hand by expanding and contracting those balloons that are inside of the device. Whenever you turn it on, if you let it run its full cycle, each cycle is a 15-minute cycle, so it will shut off on its own after 15 minutes. If you want to continue or move it to another hand, you'll have to turn the device back on. So it completely turns off after 15 minutes of use. Overall, this has a retail price of $89.99. However, you can find it on Amazon for $69.99 at the time that I'm filming this video. So you can often find this at a discounted price, so you don't have to pay the full $90 retail price or $89.99 retail price for this. You can often find it a little bit cheaper. Like I said, right now on Amazon.com it is $69.99. One of the things that I liked about this massager is that you can really just sit down, watch TV, listen to an audiobook. As you'll see, I actually tried it out for the first time while I was listening to some podcasts. So I was sitting in this chair, just enjoying the fireplace, listening to some podcasts while the massager was doing its thing. And I really enjoyed the opportunity to relax and just zone out while I was having my hand massaged. While this does not get rid of hand pain, it does help alleviate some of that pain and tension that you might experience in your hands. So I often struggle from a lot of hand pain myself, especially after long sessions of crocheting. When I'm crocheting for a really long time, I often need to take some breaks, and while I was taking a break, so I was using this for about a week. While I was taking breaks, I would put my hand in here, do a quick 15-minute session, move it to the next hand, and I found that while I still continued to have some hand pain, it did help with the aching feeling. Applying the compression and the warmth really did help ease some of that like kind of aching pain and feeling. And so I really enjoyed that. If you have experienced compression gloves before or heat pads with compression gloves, this kind of combines those two together. This device is only available in the US right now. So for all of my international viewers, my Canadian viewers, UK viewers, I see you all. I apologize. This is not available for you to purchase at this time. But if you are one of my US viewers, you can follow the link below. There will also be a 10% off promo code in the description below. So check out the link, check out the promo code. I do not get commission. It is not an affiliate link. I received this product for free for a review, and that is the extent of how I benefit from this. So please check it out for yourself if you're interested. If you have some of those Amazon gift cards to go through because of the holidays, consider maybe checking out the hand massager. I do think that, you know, this is the first hand massager that I've actually ever used, and so I did really enjoy this. I have not done a lot of research on what other options look like, so please feel free to do some research, share in the comments below what you think if you've had an opportunity to use this and experience it yourself as well. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are, and let me know if you ever check this out or if you've already heard about this and you've checked it out for yourself. Again, this is the Bob and Brad HandSpa Pro hand massager. You can check out the link below in the description, as well as the 10% off promo code that you'll find in the description. And let me know in the comments below what you think, if you check this out, if you don't want to check it out. I love to hear your thoughts. And so the next part of this video is this Twisted Ambition yarn. I fell in love with this colorway. I got this yarn from the Wisconsin Sheep and Wool Festival this summer when I was able to go with my friend. I got 4 hanks of this. It was on the pricier side, so this is a $30 hank, and the colorway is Island Getaway. This is 100% superwash merino, 250 yards, 150 grams, and this is a 4-ply yarn. It says to wash with cold water and lay flat to dry. So because this is lay flat to dry, I don't like making super big things with yarn that requires it to lay flat to dry. So I went to my go-to. I made a hat, and I used this pattern by Crystal from Bag O Day Crochet. I did some random color changes here because I liked how, like, kind of that randomness of the number of rows as well. as just mixing it with, breaking it up with this black. So the black yarn that is here, this is Mighty Stitch. So this is a 80% acrylic, 20% superwash merino wool, and this is from Knit Picks or We Crochet. The yarn works really well together. And then I made this scarf. This scarf, I didn't use a pattern for this scarf. I just freehanded this, and I did this with half double crochets, double crochets, as well as single crochets and chains to create the moss stitch that you see here. And so I broke up the colors here with 4 rows. Yeah, 4 rows of each color, alternating the half double crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, moss stitch. And I really, really love how this color came out. Yeah, I really love how this color came out, and you know, as we were going through some really cold periods here in Wisconsin, I was looking at this yarn and it kept staring at me, and I was like, Island Getaway, I could really use an Island Getaway right now. And so I decided, you know, why not use this on a scarf and beanie? And so that's what I made, and I'm really, really enjoying how this looks. This is a me project. It is going to stay with me. I'm not going to give this away, but I really enjoyed making this. So I haven't had a lot of opportunity to make other things, and so I'm looking forward to the new year. The next few videos I'm going to go through, I'm still working on the tutorial for the messenger bag, so I'm still working on that tutorial. I have not forgotten that. You will see that at the beginning of next year. I'm also working on a video to show off. So I keep all of my sleeves. I keep all of my sleeves for the yarn that I use. I'm slowly going through all of the yarn sleeves that I've used and putting them in a spreadsheet so that I can see how much yarn I used in 2025, and we'll keep track next year to see how much yarn I use in 2026. So I'm looking forward to actually really seeing if there is a yarn that stands out as my most used yarn in 2025, if there's a yarn that I used a lot that I really didn't care for, and what yarn I used that was my favorite last year, that I didn't expect to be a favorite. So keep an eye out for more videos from us. We post once a week on Sundays, and I hope you keep those creative loops going. And please, if you enjoyed what you saw, like this video, consider subscribing. I hope I've earned your subscription now that we're at the end of this video, and I will see you next week. Bye, y'all.